ACOG presents to you tonight Super Speedway Tour Season 2. Here live at Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing in the virtual Florida circuit. My name is Zeke Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. A lot of people have been waiting a long time for this series to come back, and it finally returns here for tonight. Here at the 2.5 mile oval on the Florida coast. So we got about 2.5 minutes left here in practice. Of course, since this is the season opener, we have no points to go over, but I guess this is a nice change of pace compared to the race we've had for the last couple weeks.
Oh, definitely, no doubt about it. I mean, there's definitely going to be still a lot of hectic racing going on. It's super speedway racing after all, but regardless, in terms of, getting back up to date with all the drivers and such, got a lot of people in tonight's field. We'll go ahead and pull up your standings here on the left-hand side. But, yeah, in terms of, contenders and people who are fairly new to the league, should be fun for them to, hit the track for the first time here for ACOG.
Yeah, we always see that healthy mix in races like this of the guys that you can basically become familiarized with by now and people that are dipping their feet in for the first time. So it's always fun to see which group ends up prevailing or finishing better in the event. So we'll see which one it ends up being here for tonight. And it looks like somebody making their league debut, speaking of, is on the top of the chart right now.
Yeah, that person would be Nicholas Dubern in that 269. So we might as well just go over our rookies here on the racetrack right now and see where they are at. So there's Nicholas Dubern. We were talking about him, making his debut here tonight. Michael Gregory, I think we either saw him yesterday, I'm not really sure, but he's here on the racetrack. He's making his debut, as well as you got Landon Dawson. He's making a debut here tonight in that 158. Jeremy Leto in the 149. He's going to be making a debut here. Tanner Johnston, debut here for tonight, and I think that'll be all of our fairly new drivers. So.
Now 5 debuts in one race.
Yeah, that's a fair amount. So it should be exciting to see on how it'll all go for all those drivers. But we'll go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side, play the national anthem as we get set here for this evening's race. Glad you could tune us here live on Max Speed TV. ACOG Super Speedway Racing about to go up and away for Season 2. We welcome everybody back here tonight for the ACOG iRacing Tour. Well, not just an classic iRacing Tour here with the Super Speedway Series. Not round number 2, but Season 2. Race number 1 about to go up and away, and glad to go ahead and start rerunning this thing. It's a Super Speedway series after all, and you know the hype around Super Speedways. It's always comes down to those final 5 laps. We'll just go ahead and dive right in deeper into the night's broadcast for this Daytona 200.
Yeah, it always comes down to the final 5 laps, but we've seen a trend lately. We've had quite a few early race yellows, so it's a matter of surviving ones that might happen tonight to even get to those last 5 laps. But we'll bring up race analysis here on your left and right side of your screen. 2.5 mile D oval here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Time of day is the afternoon to evening session, so we'll finish this race under the lights tonight. Pit road speed 55 miles per hour, so if we have green flag stops, pit road speeding penalties, we'll have to watch out for those. 35 to 40 laps is the fuel window, so there will be at least 1 pit stop made tonight. 31 degrees of banking here at this racetrack, 80 laps here for tonight, and it will even out to 200 miles, so the same length as the ARCA Menard Series race here in real life, so it should be a good one tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see on how this will all go. You know, it's the first race of the Super Speedway Series, and gonna be a lot of points on the line here for tonight. 36, I mean, we're still going off of standard NASCAR points, so if you finish up first, you're getting a maximum or a minimum of 43 points, unless there's penalties accumulated throughout that, but oh boy, yeah, I really don't have much to say as of right now. Until we take that green flag, I'm not really sure who's gonna be where by the end of this thing.
Yeah, should be an interesting one for sure. Have about a minute and a half left here in qualifying. Connor Brandon in the 92 currently tops on the charts. Not surprising to see his name up there, given the history he has here in this league. Tanner Johnston, one of our rookies making his league debut, jumps up to P2 on the board, just a couple of thousandths behind that 92. And speaking of a couple of thousandths, we saw how much a thousandth of a second can matter with the finish we had last night at Martinsville. So even a margin that small can literally be the difference between winning and finishing, maybe even 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, especially on the Super Speedway where every move is going to matter. Every draft you're going to have to take to make advantage of it. So hopefully everybody could play their moves out right and pull themselves out a victory here for this evening. But only one of these 36 drivers are going to come out victorious. So we'll have to see if they could nail it on the throttle and, you know, not nail it on the throttle, but, you know, by means of that, play their moves out right and pull themselves a victory here tonight.
That was a good lap by Bachman right there. Put him up to 9th on the charts as Benjamin White in the 15 snags the pole away from Frank DeAngelis with just over 10 seconds left in the session. And that was a really fast lap. The only driver to get below 52.3. So a blazing fast lap from the 15 right at the buzzer will get him the pole here for tonight. So congrats to him on picking up tonight's pole award. And now it presents the starting lineup, assuming the warm-up is skipped.
Yeah. We'll have to see on how it'll all go, but here's your starting order here on the bottom side of your screen for Benjamin A. White. He won last season in the Xfinity cars here at this very racetrack, so we'll see if he could net himself a victory here for the night. Alongside of him, Frank DeAngelis in the 031. That was your Auto Club Series winner on the NASCAR side.
I believe that win you mentioned was also Benjamin's first here in the league. Row number 2, Connor Brandon in the 92, and one of our rookies tonight, Tanner Johnston in the 280.
Row number 3 is going to be Spencer E. Burns making his debut here tonight, yet again returning from the ISCAR scene. Eduardo Munoz Jr. in that number 29. He's going to be starting in 6th. Nice qualifying effort by him.
Row 4, Jackson Menchu in the 07 returning once again here for tonight, and Max Zera coming off a top 10 last night at Martinsville. Hopes to get another one here tonight in that 6th truck.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen as we round out the final row. David Bachman in the 84 and Eric Heater in that number 28. We'll go through the order really quickly as we pan through 35 rows. I mean, 35, not 35 rows. That would be like 60-some drivers, but 35 drivers who are going to start. Or it might be 36, I'm not really sure. We'll have to see, but a lot of drivers here for tonight, regardless.
saw Jake Sylvia starting in row 10, came oh so close to winning last night at Martinsville, trying to redeem himself here tonight and maybe score the victory on the high banks of Daytona. And it looks like 36 will take the green tonight. So a standard Truck Series field on tap for tonight. And I'm pretty excited. We've been waiting a while for this Super Speedway Series to come back, and here we are, just moments away from the green.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, the last season's contenders aren't really here. Peter Kenny is absent. Kyler Wynn's absent. Parker White, he too is absent. So, we'll have to see on how it'll all work out for those once they do return on the scene. But here we go. We're rolling off here for tonight. And up front, that number 15, Benjamin A. White, your pole sitter, was our former commentator. So glad to see the 15 show some talent here on the qualifying side at Daytona.
Yeah, he's turned in the business suit for the driver's suit, and doing a good job of that so far here tonight with that P1 starting spot. And you mentioned those notable drivers not here tonight. Peter Kenny mentioned a few days ago he's going to let his iRacing expire for right now, so it might be a while before we see him back on track again, but hopefully in the near future we'll see him once again. Yeah, we'll see if that 15, who was really strong in the Super Speedway race, or actually not the Super Speedway race, it was the NASCAR Series opener at Daytona about a month and a half ago, and I believe he was leading at the white before he got turned, so perhaps some redemption on the mind of that 15 as we get ourselves into turn 3 for the base lap.
Some rookies we'll fan through real quickly. Got the 267, the 280, who's starting on pit road. DeAngelis is also starting on pit road as well. So, yeah, as we said, 4 rookies here for tonight. So, should be fun to see on how those rookies will perform out here on the racetrack. But to pull ourselves a green flag here for round number 1 of the series. Season number 2 gonna go underway as the pace car scoots itself left. Here we go. Green flag. Super Speedway is back in business.
Had a lot of lap 1 incidents recently. Hopefully we don't have another one here for tonight. So we're already going 3 wide here into turn 1 as the 179 of Spencer Burns goes up the middle, and right now is going to leave Connor Brandon to dry, or at least try to. But that 179 right now is no help up there, but he still gets a good enough side draft to clear those 2 trucks up top.
It's the 29 of Eduardo Munoz Jr. as Benjamin A. White. He's blocking. He goes up to the high side, fends out Spencer E. Burns. On the bottom, it's going to be the 92 of Connor Brandon, help from a heater. In that 28, there's still 3 wide as Eduardo Munoz tried to come down in front of the 19 of Miller. Was no hole there, and Eduardo is going to go from looks like 4th all the way to the back of the pack.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple guys here in this series that are going to go for the championship, whereas others may just show up a few times for fun. So I guess if maybe Benjamin's trying to think big picture here for the championship, and with that in mind, maybe that blocking was to ensure he leads a lap and pick up a bonus point for it. So varying strategies we'll probably see over these next 79 laps, but blocking necessarily always a bit risky.
Got a wreck already. What in the world?
No caution, as I'm not sure who that is, but whatever truck that was, the engine is, or the smoke is pouring out of that truck, and their day is going to be over.
Yeah, that's DeAngelis. I'm not really sure what happened there. So I guess we did see a lap 1 incident.
And he started in the top 10, I think. He qualified up there, and he'll go down to the bottom and stay out of the way here.
Oh, that's wild. I'm not really sure what happened. Well, I'll have to take a replay of that. Of course, looks like...
Oh! So they wrecked after, pit starting.
Oh,
what
man.
The?
Yeah, it was Landon Dawson.
Well, that's one of our rookies. Huh.
They're going 3 by 3 already.
And a big block there by Burns on the 19. That's going to stack the outside up briefly, as they're already going 3 by 3 here on lap 3. Risky move down to the bottom there by Sartaj of the 49, but he makes it work. And we're already all bottled up and almost a wreck there with the 15 of the 92.
My goodness. It's too early.
This is not looking good so far.
It's too early. It's way too early to see this kind of racing up front, especially with that block in that 15's doing. I sense a big wreck. If some wrong move gets made, it's gonna spark off and it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, if I'm around 7th place, yeah, there's Menshu in the 07 dropping to the back. That's exactly what I'd be doing right now in this situation. That is way too hectic up towards the front as Benjamin gets a bad bump from Heater, and that's going to send him 3 wide for the lead into 3. And just like that, we almost had a wreck again, but everybody holds on for right now, but I wouldn't let go of my breath yet.
Oh, yeah. It's just... As soon as it goes single file, they're going to stack up yet again, double wide, and here they go. They're 3x3, not 2 rows deep. Heater removes the high side. He's going to pick up Burns there in the 179, but that outside line just Hitler disintegrated as soon as Heater went up there. Max Urich is going to file back in line. Burns is going to file in front of Urich, and the man who's going to take the worst off of that is the 28 of Heater, who's going to go from potential 3rd spot all the way back to, I'd say, outside this top 10. Bad bump there from the number 92, Connor. Got a bad bump there for the 49 of Sertage. That's up on the high side, and they're still 3 wide around that position as Burns squeaks down to the bottom in front of Miller.
Yeah, they're still racing a bit dicey, but if I'm the Heater in the 28, I'm okay with the way that played out. Because now that he's back around 12th or 15th place, if a wreck happens up front, it's going to give him a bit more time to potentially react and slow down to try to miss it. As Munez got a bit high there in the tri-oval, but still comes down in front of Brennan the 92, but they're still looking really dicey right now.
Yeah, how about this for this number 29 of Eduardo Munez Jr.? He is doing a phenomenal job right now. You barely see this 29 run up front, but here he is. He's working with a teammate of him, that number 92 of Connor Brennan, to the backside of him. I know that 15 of Benjamin A. White also there in the process. Oh man, Eduardo didn't really hold his line there, washed up the racetrack. I think he's sort of mirror driving, trying to follow the 92 wherever he goes. 92 is his teammate. He's going to stay committed. I'm not sure why Eduardo really washed himself up like that, but Benjamin going to wash up in front of the 29, but he peaks up high. We're going to go 3.
And you saw the wheel mark on Connor's door, so he's made contact with a couple other trucks already here in the early going. And you see that black truck up top behind the 92. That's Jake Sylvia in the 043 as Burns gets a bit squirrely but holds on. I mentioned already how close Sylvia was to winning last night. And you see already trying to work his way up to the front to try to redeem himself and get that W tonight. Giving a big push to Connor and got him a bit loose there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. And he gives him another big shot down the backstretch, but it looks like it won't be enough to clear down to the bottom.
3 wide still as Connor is going to be clear of the 043. He drops down to the middle. Couldn't clear his teammate, that number 29 of Eduardo. So now Eduardo's going to pick up the 21. They're 3x3, 3 rows deep. Connor trying to pinch that 29 as much as he can, but the 3 wide onto the front straightaway. Who's going to lead this lap? It might be the 043. He gets the run, but looks like no. Eduardo is going to lead his first lap of the season.
And the 043 got a huge push from the 50 of Luke Peters and almost turned himself around. But these guys have been doing a really good job. Despite all these big pushes, they're doing a great job so far of keeping their trucks straight. Hopefully they can keep that going for the rest of the night because, again, one of these guys not being able to do that could set off a massive, massive incident.
Yeah, they're not doing a great job of holding their line, even though it's like fun. Even though they're still like 3x3 like this, they're only 3x3 because nobody's going anywhere because nobody can hold a line up front. Eduardo's been weaving around, but I mean, luckily he's now clear of the lead. But Connor is still threatening him up on that high side. But we'll see if Eduardo in the 29 could, get this inside line rolling. He has a 21 of Bridger Olsen as a pusher, but everybody else right behind Eduardo, they're not doing a great job at keeping it straight either, as Benjamin gets a bit off center there off of Connor. Burns gets pinched. Oh boy. Burns now pulls himself up.
And this in particular really isn't to the driver's control, but in a situation like this when you're 3x3, even netcode is something you have to be concerned about because with them running so close to each other, sometimes netcode can just cause contact to happen that really didn't happen, and that can also trigger a big wreck. So even though some guys are going to want to pinch to get a better run, I think they're going to have to be mindful of the fact that, hey, you know what? Netcode may end up happening, and even if I don't get close enough to somebody, if I do, it still might cause something, and that's still not something you want to have happen. A lot of things to remember and keep in mind when racing like this. You see Cole Woody in the 74, he'll dive down to the apron to get out of harm's way. And it looks like for right now, we've stopped the 3x3 for right now, and I think there's a collective sigh of relief amongst everybody on the track and everybody up here in the booth. But just as I say that, here we go again.
Yeah, they're fanning out 2, 3 wide as Eduardo's going to get left there on the inside. It's going to be the 15 of Benjamin and Spencer Burns in the 179 going to take the top 2 positions. Eduardo falls back to 3rd. He's side by side with Uric in that 6.
Oh! 15 got a big push there from the 179. Uric gets a bump from somebody and goes up the hill. And yet somehow we still stay pointed in the right direction as Eduardo is on the apron for right now. He'll have to or actually, that's not Eduardo. Higgins. I think that's a 72. But he'll have to merge back up, and he does so safely. But another close call there, coming out of 4.
Man, they're all sorts of sideways off the corner. It's really hectic up front. And
a lot of guys getting loose out of the corners.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, trucks are a bit towed out, as you see. Eduardo snagged the apron. Oh my god. It's bound to happen. That 043 of who is that? That's Sylvia. He's pushing.
He's really laying into Connor's bumper right now.
He's laying into Connor. He's pushing him through the corner as well. That's something you can do in these trucks.
It's risky though.
It is really risky. But not only that, that bottom car, that 15. If he tries to push that 179 at Burns, there's going to be some netcode between that 15 and 92. The way it works on iRacing and the way netcode pins itself is in an awkward way in which netcode is always going to go to the right through the corners because you're always turning left, and the 043 got a bit off center there. Connor's going to
he gives him another bump. And gives him another one. He's really laying into him still right now.
043, he's doing a good job. Not a great job, but a good enough job to keep himself, up there. Oh,
there it is. That was inevitable. Connor locks it down, and just as we thought he did, he comes back up the hill, clips the 15. Here we go. Big wreck. Track's blocked. Caution is out, and at least half the field's going to end up collected in this one here. Caution out for the first time tonight here on lap 13, and the powder keg finally went boom, and a lot of trucks are going to be torn up after this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, about time, honestly. You knew that was going to happen. It had to happen some way, somehow, in some shape or form, and there it went. And this is what I was talking about, netcode. As I said, netcode's huge in these trucks. And it happened there between Burns and Connor.
Yeah, and the 179 went spinning down. I think he got a little bit of air there as the car went back to the right. Connor comes back up and clips the 15. Bridger Olsen in the 21, nowhere to go. Another truck came flying up the hill as well and just clogs the racetrack. And here comes everybody else laying towards the back. You see a couple more trucks that got piled into trying to slow it down to miss it. And so quickly what turned into a 2 or 3 car spin instantly became a 10, 12, 15 truck incident. So all these guys trying to slow it down, but the track just got blocked.
Yeah, and not only that, Connor had that thing pinned down to the bottom, but he got a bump. That 92 of Connor, he got a bump right about there from Eduardo Munoz. And it shot him back up the racetrack right into Benjamin. Benjamin goes for a ride. You see the 29.
And Eduardo came back up the hill too.
Yeah, Eduardo comes up into...
Menchu had it missed, and so did Luke Peters.
That's the 50 of Luke Peters, and Peters gets ran over there by the white truck. That's the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. You got the 07 of Menchu.
And look back there towards Olsen. Even more trucks got caught up in it.
Yeah, and here's another trio.
These guys were all laying in the back, and I think one of them just couldn't slow down in time, and they all got ran over.
Yeah, look, definitely back there.
Behind Collins in the 5. Somebody got pile drove here, trying to get it slowed down. The 35.
Yeah, 35 of Thornton ran into the 8 of Tabor. who ran into
And-
the 34 and 5, but I don't think that's a lot of damage for all those 3 drivers. They still, you know, spun and hit each other, but regardless, I think they'll be
a lot
fine.
of trucks with damage, though.
Yeah, definitely. Also had to mention Spencer Burns, the one who got hit down to the apron. He's probably going to be definitely junked after that big hit on the right side. So, yeah, as I mentioned, it was bound to happen, and it happened big time.
Well, silver lining, maybe, I guess it didn't happen on lap 1 this time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a good thing, but, you know, regardless, it happened, unfortunately.
That was a super, super hectic 13 laps we saw, though. But it was just a matter of time with them racing like that this early that it was inevitably going to happen. And lap 13 is when it all went down. And there's definitely going to be some drivers that are out of the running tonight after that one. And this is probably the part of the race now we're also going to see 2 or 3 different packs forming depending on how much damage different drivers have.
Yeah, definitely. So, Woody, Dadgar, and... yeah, looks like Woody and Dadgar both 1 lap down at the moment. I think they got
pit
lapped.
started.
Yeah, they pit started, so they got lapped during that exchange. A green flag. So, they're gonna... they're not gonna be able to get the lead lap just yet. They're gonna have to hope for something to happen, but... I mean, it's lap 15. If I were these drivers, I honestly, I think they did hit, all these drivers did hit pit road. So, so we'll restart with the 6 up front. Dubern and the 269 is going to be up in second. So one of the rookies now running inside this top 5.
Lewis Galvin in 3rd as well. He stayed out. Bachman 4th. Michael Gregory 5th.
Actually,
Yeah, what?
Galvin,
Quite a few guys decided to stay out here.
Actually, I don't think anybody stayed out. They just took on fuel only, hence why they shuffled to the front. So, of course, tires not really a big factor here. You would have to take at least 1 set, just, you know, grip yourself down on the racetrack off of restarts. But we're left with now 29 cars on the lead lap, a few drivers 1 lap down. Dadgar is one of them. Woody's the other. So,
And a couple out of the running, of course.
right. And the people who are out of the running got Reynolds is out, Connor out, Eduardo's out, Frank is still on pit road, and Landon Dawson also out of the mix for right now. Pace car's gonna scoot itself on the pit road. Here we go again.
Green, green, green.
Oh man, a really sideways restart. At 269, Nicholas Dubern sort of crab walking down the tri-oval to get himself going, but now got the tires set down. He's gonna fight with a 6 of Urich for that top spot. And they're already taking it 3 toward the back.
I don't know. Oh, jeez. Whoever that truck on the apron was really, really slow. I thought they were about to get rammed into by the pack. Looks like that may have been an engine expiration for Luke Peters in the 50. But here we go. We're already going 3 wide once again. And I would think that after the big wreck like that, they wouldn't want to do that again. But Bachman flings it down into the apron, trying to make a pass. And there we go again. Got a couple trucks wadded up here into 3. But everybody
Somehow
keeps
they kept it straight.
Yeah, got another
there
one in
you
the
go.
wall. There goes, I think,
That's
Burns in the
Spencer
179. And he locks it down and misses the wall. No caution out of all of that, though. Well, there might be in a second. I think he's saying they're trying to trigger a
All right,
caution.
man, caution is out. Caution
And
is out.
looks like he does. Not the best of ways to get a caution to come out. But
I mean, the whole field was sort of jammed around and such. We're bound to get a caution anyway. I'm interested to see what happened there with the 89 of Hobbs off that exchange, but a lot of beating and banging off of that start. It all happened around where the 89 of Hobbs is. Hobbs has a lot of damage now.
I think he got the wall somewhere.
You see the 50 there of Luke Peters. That was the car who was sort of stalled in there on the inside, but here we go. We'll see what happened.
Yeah, Bachman flings it down to the apron here to try to get the lead away. Right there. And then further back,
Ooh.
looks like the 31 of Galvin came up and got the 89 of Mitch.
Man, that's a save.
Yeah, he got run into a little bit, though, but definitely could have been a lot worse. And then right here out of 4,
Oh,
it looks like netcode.
yet again.
Yeah, netcode 2 for 2 here on the incident tracker tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the... I'm not sure who that iRacing truck was. 267.
Michael Gregory.
Yeah, Michael Gregory washed up into Burns via netcode, and Burns, you know, back on the racetrack trying to trigger the caution. Got what he wanted, but has a lot of damage regardless, unfortunately.
And it took a pretty big lick on the right side there. Thankfully, you locked it down and didn't come back and hit the inside wall, but that outside wall impact definitely going to leave a mark or two on that 179 truck.
Woody, I think, in the 74 is going to get the lucky dog off of that exchange. This is another chance for drivers to, you know, top off on fuel. You know, that pit window is it's fairly small. It's around like 35-ish laps, so it's still going to be... I mean, actually, it's going to be a one-stop race if these drivers do hit pit road now. Unfortunately, he's not going to be a part of that strategy to pit, you know... That 41 of Darius, since he's still a lap down, he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to be in the lucky dog to pull himself a. I lost my train of thought there.
I won't be able to get the lucky wave around this. Unfortunately, be a lap down for a bit longer now.
The one who did get the lucky dog was the 74, Cole Woody. So with Woody back in the lead lap, that'll pull us, well, still, I'd say 29 cars. Or, yeah, not 29 on the lead lap. So for the restart here, Bachman, Dubern, Heater, Urich, and Galvin, the top 5 this time around.
here on lap 21. Already had 2 cautions here for tonight. Hope we can get a longer green run in here towards the latter half of the event.
Pace cars in.
Green flag, green
Green,
flag.
green. Up and away. Dewburn in the 269 didn't get as good of a restart, and the 6 of Urich sort of backed out. Checked up just a slight bit. Didn't want to push him into the corner, so Bachmann's going to be able to clear with heater the 1 and 2.
All right, man.
Oh, a caution
is out.
already
Caution is out.
toward the back. Another
Number
wreck.
3, Cole Woody, who just got the lucky dog involved. Ethan Harrison in the 77. Sylvia in the 043. Frimpong in the 53. So right off the restart, caution number 3 out here for tonight, and we'll get a look and see what caused this one.
That's Frimpong.
Oh, it happened ahead of
Oh.
them. Celia looks like was the first one around.
Oops.
And looks like he got turned right there by the 89 of Mitch.
Everybody does a great,
Wow.
great job of avoiding.
That could have been a whole lot worse than it was. That was about the best possible outcome in a situation like that.
Yeah. So, they go under caution yet again. That'll, I think, put Dadgar on the lead lap. And everybody behind Dadgar is not on the racetrack, so Dadgar is going to be able to get the wave around. And he did avoid that incident, so Bachmann's going to be able to lead some more laps. And you don't see Bachmann run up front. He was in contention for that street stock event. Fortunately, 8 of Tabor got the best of him. And Bachmann now leading his first laps of the season. Or, not of the season, but... Well, technically of the season, but, you know, the season overall of the other series. He's led a few laps there. 269 at Dewburn still resides in second spot. Lewis Galvin, Max Urich, and Eric Heater. Benjamin has a lot of damage around him, I'd say a lot of right side-ish damage on that machine.
Yeah, he got clipped by Connor in the first incident. So we'll see, even though he's back up in the top 10, we'll see how much it ends up affecting him for the remainder of the night.
Seems as though pit stops from 18th on back, everybody from 18th position has decided to hit pit road. Actually, I'd say from 11th on back, excuse me. So... by means of 11th on back, we're gonna have to start with Miller in the 19. Who's scored an 8th right now, but is 11th position-wise. Nice crunching noises. I don't know what the heck you're eating, but it must be good.
Didn't know I was being that vocal about it. The good old classic rice cake.
Yum. Alright, try it again. 84 Bachman. Up front. Bachman hasn't led a lot of laps this season. Now has the chance to go ahead and lead this thing to the... hopefully it's checkered flag. He'd like for it to lead it to the checkered flag and such, but that 84 Bachman, he's a fun guy to hang out with. That 84, I'm pretty sure, is stoked to be in the lead.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll try to savor every moment of this that he has, and we're not even halfway through this race yet, but we'll see if he can keep it up there and maybe even contend for the win later on in the night.
We'll see. Pace car's in. Bachman, Dewburn,
Green,
Galvin,
green, green.
and Yurik. Top 4. Green flag is out. Galvin gets a nice start. I mean,
Not
Bachman,
a great one.
Bachman
not
got
a
a good
great
start,
restart for
so that 31 is going to pull forward because of it.
Yeah, 269 didn't really get going that time. So we'll see how much of a run Galvin can get on the bottom behind our race leader. And this will allow Benjamin as well to try to get back up into the top 5 after being involved in the incident earlier after getting clipped by Connor. So our pole sitter trying to work his way back up into that top spot, and just as we were... oh, nope, that's not him dropping in the back. Here comes Yurik with a big move down to the board for the lead. He's going to hook the 269, and is he going to come up the hill? What a job by Dewburn to keep that locked up on the grass and not fly up back up the hill. I mean, a really tough break for him getting turned from the race lead, but kudos to him of preventing a massive wreck from happening right there.
He's going to have to catch caution, unfortunately, to pull himself back into this lead pack, but oh my gosh, you hate for it to go that way, but I mean, Yurik was there. He nosed under. He was there.
Oh, jeez, and a big shot there for the 280 of Johnson sends him up the hill. Another close call here for our leaders, but with the 269 spinning onto the apron like that and down to the grass, I thought for sure he was going to come flying back up the track and take about 15 people out with him, but again, a nice job there of blocking it down and keeping it out of harm's way, and we stay green here at Daytona.
Yeah, Johnson and the 15 and Benjamin, as well as Kiloa Hankins, they're not going to go anywhere. And look who's back inside this top 5. It's Spencer Burns out of nowhere. He's worked himself right. Yeah, and Sylvia. They're now 2nd and 3rd up on that high side. You got Frimpong up there as well, so a lot of talented racers here up on the 2nd lane. And it's against a bunch of, I wouldn't say nobodies, but it's against Yurik, Bachman, and Menchu. Lots of part-time drivers on the bottom. And
a lot of damaged trucks working their way back up here as well. Of course, 3 of those guys have been in at least one incident so far tonight, and make that 2 as they're going to have a big wreck here into turn 3. Yurik goes around in front of everybody. Someone has gone upside down. That's Frimpong sliding down the hill. About 10, 12 other trucks get collected in it, and just like that, another big one here on lap 28.
Another one.
Yeah, 6 trucks junk. Frimpong went upside down. That was a nasty one.
Another case of netcode. As I said, there's this netcode stuff in the truck it's ridiculous.
It seems to be a lot more prevalent than in the other stock cars that are on the service. Well, I got to look at it here into 3. They got a bit bottled up, and I think the 49 or the 179 was the first one I saw around.
Netcode between Burns and Yurik.
And then hit the track, just blocked again. There's Frimpong, got bounced off of somebody and went over briefly. Menchu slides it through the grass. There's the 81 of Visconti in it. A lot of trucks in this one. I think Benjamin got a piece of this as well.
Right there, Yurik. I'm not sure if he washed up, but Yurik, or it might have been the 179 of Burns was trying to follow Sertage And Yerk, I'm not really
Man,
sure.
he was already there.
Yeah, I mean, he was already there. I'm not really sure about that. And they made contact regardless.
Oh, Sylvia got so lucky right there. I thought for sure he was going to get clipped, but they went back down the hill. There's Frimpong bouncing right up off the wall. There's Benjamin in the middle of that.
Hobbs
Mitch
gets
with nowhere to
collected.
go. Hankins nowhere to go.
Got
There's the
Malachi in
50
it.
And there's the 53 Sonnen down the track. I think that's Stu Byrne, I think, that got turned from the lead right before this, trying to squeeze his way through the wreck.
I think that's 79, Schmidt, who somehow netcoded through the 15.
And I see Visconti there sliding through the grass. And the 15 and the 53, I think, got the worst of this. Tanner Johnston in the middle of that as well in the 280. Keeter in the 28 gets a piece. Miller in the 19 missed that entire thing somehow.
I cannot
How
believe
did
that.
he make his way through that one?
See all these drivers just flying through the grass to avoid and such, but pit road's going to be a busy place because of it. No surprise to see a lot of drivers on in.
And it's still not late enough in the race to have your last stop. Still 50 laps to go. And with a window of about 35 to 40 laps, still going to be about another 10, 12 laps before you can confidently make your last stop of the day.
Sertage is on pit road. Looks like he towed it. So this will shuffle the lead to, looks like Sylvia, or maybe Ethan Harrison. And Harrison's gonna pick up the lead. The one to go at the line. All these drivers working themselves back on the racetrack, and look at all these drivers who are damaged and such. Unfortunate to see it, but better to see this. Honestly, I'm glad to see this many trucks still left. We still have 27 on the lead lap.
Yeah, quite a few are damaged, but
Yeah, quite a few are still damaged, but compared to the first season, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah, that first season was terrible.
yeah, I think in that race we had 4 trucks finish on the lead lap.
Yeah, 4 trucks finished on the lead lap. We got 27 here.
Richard Olson in that race finished, I believe, in 9th place and was like 32 laps down. Like, it was about as high of an attrition rate as you can possibly get in a super speedway race. So, approaching halfway, we still have a big chunk of the field left, even though a good amount of these trucks do have some degree of damage.
And
But
I think
there are some that have been fortunate enough to not suffer any yet. We'll see how they fare from here on out.
I think it's still going to be an attrition race. I mean, we're 30 laps in. We've eliminated a quarter of the field. And I feel like it's not over for all these cautions and such. I don't think the drivers are going to change strategy and, time to lay back and such. I still think these people are still going to go all out.
Oh, no doubt about it.
They really have nothing to lose. It's only the first race of the season. Unless you're going for points, you might as well lay back. But we'll have to see. Green flag's out. And a bad restart there from the 84 of Bachman. He gets taken 3 wide by Clappert. Bachman doesn't get shift. Excuse me, language, but Bachman, he doesn't get the shifts right. I didn't mean to say shit, by the way, but he didn't shift right.
Well, you just said it again.
Yeah, well, whatever. They're
No, the
stacking up right
FCC is-
behind.
Yeah, the FCC will hate us for that one, but working our way out of turn 2 here. Still 2 by 2 all the way through the field right now, as Christian Visconti in the 81 now leads this top side, getting a big shot from the 84, who we saw just a moment ago get taken 3 wide with the poor restart, but he recovered nicely and right now sits in 4th place. But he's still giving a big shot to that 81. He's got to be careful he doesn't end up turning him like we've seen a couple other times tonight.
Yeah, that's right. No, and look at that. We've dwindled down. The cars, big time. you gotta go all the way back, like I'd say a second, all the way to Clapper, and the 34 is getting turned!
Uh-oh. Oh, and a
All right, man, caution
huge,
is out.
huge
Caution is
hit
out.
for Brayson Collins in the 5. Caution is out once again. That's the biggest hit of the night so far, and that 5 truck is destroyed.
Oh, that was a lot of miscommunication there with the
Oof.
34 and
Wow.
the 35. I think both of those guys are actually teammates, but
And 34 just washed up right here. Just
Yeah.
went up the hill.
yeah,
Into the
he's-
5, they make contact. 34 ends up in the wall, comes back down the hill, clips the 5, and
bang.
oh man!
Oh my gosh, the 31 of Lewis Galvin got super lucky.
Oh, and Tabor in the 8 almost missed getting clipped there by the 34. So only a 2 truck incident there, but that was a huge, huge hit for the 5, and his night likely is going to be over after that one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Clapper's deal was there, but that was a terrible block. I mean, you're blocking mid pack. You shouldn't do that.
Bad block, big hit. So I believe this is caution 5 or 6 now. As we're just a couple laps shy of the halfway mark. Ethan Harrison still out front. And I'm curious now. So the window is 35 to 40 for fuel. You could probably stretch it to maybe 41 or 42. We're probably going to have 43 or 44 to go at the restart. Do we see somebody maybe come in for fuel now? And if we get a couple more yellows, try to stay out to the end?
Oh,
and not have to pit again?
Definitely possible. I mean, the way these cautions are going, you might as well go on to pit road, set yourself up for that final 20-ish laps. They've
And
yet
we'll see
to
if
cross
we have any-
halfway, though, so...
Got a couple takers. Mitch is in, and basically everybody from 5th on back hitting pit road. And we'll probably see a mix of 4-tire stops and fuel-only stops. But we'll see if any of these guys here can try to stretch it to the end if enough caution laps between this caution right now and a potential future run could help them save enough to make it to the end. Though, of course, still green-white checkers are a possibility that could throw a wrench into that.
Feel bad for Brayson, though. That 5 just got murdered. No reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no fault of his own, and just got hooked right into the wall and killed his truck. I mean, just minding his own business, and it always stinks to see somebody have their race end like that, especially when it's absolutely no fault of their own. That's a part of racing sometimes, though.
Yeah. Under caution yet again. Sertaj Mon in the 49, still on pit road. No, it looks like he just disconnected as soon as I said that. Benjamin in the 15, he's still on pit road. He's multiple laps down. Keeter's gone. Frimpong's gone.
Yeah, those 2 trucks got a lot of damage in the earlier incident. Saw Frimpong go upside down in that second big one. Yeah, been a rough couple nights for Frimpong. He was involved in, I think, 5 or 6 incidents last night at Martin's, and has an early end to his race here for tonight. So hopefully he can rebound next week and get a string of good finishes to put this week in the rearview mirror.
Miller's going to pick up the lead. Got Bachman in second. Dubern in third. So still a lot of people in this event. And it's not over yet. I mean, 36 out of 80. We're yet to cross the halfway point, so... By means of the field window, I thought it was like 35 to go. No, so... I thought they could no-stop it from this point forward. No, they can't. If it was the Xfinity car and it was 100% fuel, yeah, you definitely could, but...
Nice look at the grandstands there.
Yeah. By means of people who are I lost my train of thought again. That's what happens when you get a cold. As they're stacking up behind Bachman. What the heck's going on here?
Yeah, been an interesting night for Miller so far. Hasn't really made much noise, but we saw how barely or saw him make it through that second big one just by the slimmest of margins, and that's gotten him the race lead for right now, and he'll lead us back to the green here on lap 37.
Pace cars in. Field's now definitely
Green,
thrown
green.
down to bits and pieces and such. You take the green regardless. Miller gets a nice jump over Bachman. And that third car in line. I mean, that second car in line. Oh, Miller's going to
Whoa.
throw a block.
Look at that blue truck just missed the restart, but was full throttle there into one and had to let off and just barely caught up to the lead pack there. I thought they were going to run into the back of somebody and just send them around, but thankfully they let off. It didn't do that. But I think we'll probably have a couple of stragglers towards the back that have damage or are trying to ride out the race. But it looks like what we have here is going to be our lead pack for the rest of the night. And a bit of squirreliness there from Sylvia up on that top line.
Yeah, Sylvia gets bottled out. It's Bachman with Johnston. Johnston has a bunch of damage on his front end. I'm surprised he's still keeping up with the lead draft, but here in these trucks, you can get a lot of damage. Let's see, like a minute of optional, and you still keep up with this lead pack, since the speeds you're only running around here around 180-ish. So as long as you don't have significant aero damage, you'll be fine. As Dubrin washed out big time there off the corner, and Bachman's getting a nice shot to that 280 of Johnston. He's going to propel to the front, and he's going a bit wide as well.
Looks like the entire outside line shuffled up at the same time as Bachman will barely clear down in front of the 19, and he will retake the race lead here on lap 38, just a couple laps shy of the halfway point, as one of our debut drivers, Tanner Johnston, in the 280 rather, will get himself to the lead on the high side.
Yeah, got a lot of drivers toward the back just minding their own business. Right, you got Kame here, got 79 Schmidt, 77 to Harrison, so this is all our stragglers toward the back and such. All those drivers who are damaged and floating around for right now. Those are the drivers who are probably going to be, you probably want to watch out for the rest of the season. All those drivers toward the back. The ones who don't have damage are back there. Up front, Johnson is going to go ahead and clear Bachman for that top spot as we approach Frank DeAngelis in that 031. Multiple laps down as big bump there from Bachman through the corner. Speaking of bumping,
and Olsen got one as well there in the middle of the corner. He barely holds on to it. Couple close calls there as Olsen will clear down in front of Johnston, but to take the lead, and we almost had the truck up top, Leto, get turned, and Olsen's going to block him up to the wall, and we're going to go 3 wide for the lead into 1.
expect another caution here within these next 5 laps. This again,
sure.
These guys are still racing out of their minds right now as the 149. Oh, yep, there you go.
Big hit there, I believe, for Sylvia. He gets airborne briefly. Caution back out. He gets hit again by Burns in the 179. Couple more trucks involved in this. I believe that's Gregory in the 267 as they grind to a halt there down the backstretch. And that, once again, they were getting really dicey there, and it was a matter of time before that happened. But Sylvia looks like was the first one in some trouble. So we'll get a look to see what caused him to go around. Yeah, so this is behind the incident, and right here, it looks like Sylvia just washed up, I believe, into Leto. And that sent him spinning.
Or from
Well,
that
Leto
angle,
came
but
down
yeah.
a bit too, I think.
Yeah, from that angle, it looks like he went down, but here's going to be a better angle right here.
I think the 043 came up a bit, and the 149 came down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. They just ended up, you know,
Oh,
colliding there at
And the
a
O-
bad angle.
And the 043 comes down the hill here.
Hits the 60 year.
Hits the 60 Uric, hits the 267, and then there's Burns at full speed right into the back of the 043.
It's Galvin as well.
And he collects Galvin. 31 would have had it missed. 267 would have had it missed, but Spencer Burns came in there flying. And we had a secondary wreck up here as well. There was contact between Bachman and Olsen, and that sent Tanner Johnston around. And Miller does a good job of missing that as well. So Miller looks like he's been the best wreck dodger of the night so far. And now that we're going to have 39 to go at the line...
Now it's the time to pit.
Yeah, this is going to put everybody on fuel, but just as we say that, got a couple staying out back there.
It's a bad idea. They're going to have to pit. From this point forward, I mean, you're definitely going to catch a caution or two. You could just stay out from... Unless you want to take some optional or such, but... I mean, is that? I mean, you got some solid. You're gonna be solid on fuel, as one car, just totally.
As Uric.
Yeah, Uric. I don't know if he just missed pit road or such.
Yeah, you might not. Oh, looks like he's just doing burnouts now. But if we don't go into overtime, these guys will be good on fuel. But if we have a couple of green-white checkers. Fuel still may be a minor concern, especially for those that just stayed out under this caution.
I'm not sure about people staying out.
I mean, I don't think we're done with cautions tonight, so maybe it'll work out for them.
I'm not sure. I think it's a bad idea too.
I mean, given my luck with stuff like this would be when it actually goes green to the end, and I'd have to pit under green and end up losing a lap.
Yeah. They're gonna have to catch caution, so... Miller, now he's gonna late pit on a pit road. I'm not sure if he wants to top off and such, but he's gonna drag the 77 of Harrison. Got 81 of Visconti in as well. So we hit one to green. A bunch of people, by the looks of it, decided to top off on fuel. I'm pretty sure this is for to pull themselves all the way to the end. They are gonna be close. They're gonna have to save at least a lap or two.
And I think that's going to mess up the restart as well. I think everybody that just came in to top off is going to have to restart single file.
That's right. And if you're toward the back, if you want track position, don't come in on pit road. Just try to save as much fuel for this next run, but... everything else is... It's going to be a really, really awkward restart as everybody works themselves off a pit road to pull themselves now single file. Gregory's on pit road. Dadgar, Johnston coming out. Got Olsen there. Thornton and Malachi, they look damageless. As well as Leto. I mean, Leto was actually sort of involved in that wreck. Uric's out. Menshu's out now. So we're left with 20 on the lead lap. We're coming to the green this time by, so... here we go. Some people are going to be flying to the green. There, as I mentioned it, by means of flying, there's going to be people flying at 180 coming to this grid. Look how many cars we have left now.
Yeah, there's a couple more still on the track, but between the couple that topped off and the couple with damage, I mean, not everybody that's on track is going to be in this main pack for the remainder of the night. That's usually what happens with races like this. Eventually, you just dwindle down the pack into something that looks kind of like this. But here we go for the lead. Mitch Hobbs will clear down in front of Dubern. And for the first time tonight, the 89 will control this pack.
And I still expect some very, very hard racing off of these drivers. I don't expect this to be the last caution just yet. Still got a lot of drivers on this lead lap.
Looks like the pack is splitting in two as well.
Yeah, that's right. They're starting to fan apart with so many damaged cars and such, but you also have the concern of fuel as well. So should be interesting to see on how the rest of the pack will handle this situation. Man, they're racing hard up front. I mean, Bachmann's peeking in, peeking out.
Theme. Yeah, this hard racing's been a theme tonight, as Cole Woody, after being a lap down earlier from pit starting, can now take over the race lead from Bachmann and Mitch Hobbs. And you see, it looks like those three trucks towards the back, Dadgar, Tabor, and one other one, are going to start to lose this main pack. So I think we're going to have about a 9 or 10 truck breakaway here in this top pack, and everybody else on tracks is going to have to fend for themselves here for the rest of the night. As Miller will take the lead away from Woody on the high side with help from Visconti, but the 81 gets shuffled out as Woody and Bachmann both go onto the apron. Got a couple of blocks and side drafts going on right now as Miller will clear down to the bottom and take the lead away, and Ethan Harrison makes a daring move to the bottom to try to take away third. As Hankins enters the top 5 for the first time tonight, and now Visconti will lead the top side with Miller vacating that spot to file in front of Johnson in the 280. So even with a smaller pack, still a lot of hard racing going on. There's Harrison. He gets shuffled onto the apron. Hankins giving a big shot to Visconti down the backstretch right now. The inside line's a bit disconnected behind Johnson in the 280, and that allows Visconti to clear down in front of the 19. And there, for the first time tonight, the 81 to the top spot. And he's going to block Miller up the hill. The 19 made a great move there out of 4 to get that lead back. The 81's going to, I think, lead it at the line. Well, actually, no, Miller got it just by a nose. And look at Johnson's going to fling it below the yellow line to try to take the lead away, and that's going to leave Visconti out to dry. And now Miller and Hankins clear down to the bottom.
Yeah, Johnson was all the way on the double yellow. That's a rule. You can't pass below there. He has to be aware of his boundaries.
I don't think he actually made any on-track passes down there, but it's still a risky maneuver regardless.
We saw the yellow line rule play in effect last season at this very race. It was Menchu who made the move under the double yellow. In result, it disqualified him. He crossed the start-finish line first, but he was under the double yellow. Didn't pick up the win, unfortunately.
Looks like the field's starting to get a little bit single file here. Got a couple trucks up top, but this looks like the calmest it's been all night so far up front. As now the top 4 all single file behind Miller. And just as I say that, here we go. The outside line falls up right as it was about to die as Hankins jumps up looking for the race lead. Looks like he'll have help from, I think, Dubern up there. Actually, no, that's Brown in the 007. I don't think we've seen him up here at all so far tonight. I also think this might be his league debut. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, Aaron Brown? No,
that's... that's Aaron Brown. Okay. Usually he's in a different number, so I didn't recognize him at first. But yeah, that's the first time we've seen Aaron Brown up there all night. And with this late in the race, I mean, no better time to be up there than now. And see if he can try to get this lead away from Hankins. He's given a big shot to him here in the middle of 3 and 4.
Johnson's too damaged on the bottom. He can't really push that inside line forward, and Miller in the process, unfortunately, is going to lurk back.
I think at some point he's going to get shuffled out. It's just a matter of when and if there's enough stronger trucks behind him that can leave him out to dry if they decide to, in fact, shuffle him out.
Not only that, these top drivers, they're pushing the issue. They're definitely pushing the issue right now to... they're using 100% throttle, which means they're using as much fuel as they can, and you could only stretch it to about, like, I'd say 30-ish laps being full throttle like this. So if I were these drivers, I want to keep myself, you know, in line and in a draft to save as much fuel as you can. Even though you topped off with 1 lap to go, it's still going to be tough to make it all the way to the end just with
Especially if a green white checker comes out.
Right. If a green white checker comes out, then of course everybody's going to have to hit pit road.
Yeah, everybody from Bachman on back doing a pretty good job right now. I mean, they're laying back, so if there's a wreck between these top 7, they're less likely to be in it, and they're saving fuel in the process. So a double W right now for everybody from Bachman on back here in this pack. As looks like we're approaching a slower truck here into 3 and 4. That's Sylvia, I believe. And another truck is... Oh, that's Olsen. And they will get by them, no problem. That's Malachi Drake. As around goes Aaron Brown and Johnston.
All right, man.
They go up into the wall.
Caution is out.
Everybody fans out, and Ethan Harrison is the unlucky one here. And he ends up tagging Johnston right in the door. Dubern gets involved late. And once again, yellow flag back out.
I think 79, not Jackson Mitchell, 79, William Schmidt. He also got involved in that as Johnson washed up. But, oh, that car's destroyed.
That is crab walking personified. So we're going to look and see what happened here. And I think the 007 was the first one that went around. I don't know if the outside came down too much because of the slower truck up top or what happened here, but...
No. There you go.
Oh, Brown had help from the 89, looks like.
That's the second car to spin off of the nose with that 89.
And Brown goes down the hill, and nothing Johnston can do. I mean, Mitch ends up collected in it, so maybe some karma perhaps there for the 89. But further back, Ethan Harrison ended up getting collected in this. Everybody fanned out to miss it, and the 77 was the one that ended up hitting him. And just... Yeah, there you see everybody taking evasive action and just could not slow down in time. And then here's Johnson sliding up the hill right in front of William.
Yeah, Johnson. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that looks ridiculous.
It's honestly funny to watch that, but no way that thing is going to be able to continue onward in tonight's race. So looks like despite that, we're still going to have some people staying out here, as Visconti is going to stay out. Michael Gregory, I don't think he's on the lead lap, but he's going to stay out and get a lap back. I think Leto is also staying out right now. Now Gregory's 7 laps down, but Leto's only 1 lap down. So Leto, I think, can get back on the lead lap here if Visconti decides to pit before we go back green. But everybody that does pit this time, I think, should be good to the end on fuel, even if we do end up having all 3 green-white checkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely now, if we, everybody could make it all the way to the end from here going forward, so. DeAngelis, got a lot of DNFs. Half the field is gone now.
It's still a much slower rate than what we saw the first time around here at Daytona.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we only saw 4 cars on the lead lap by the end of this 80-lap event, so Still a lot of laps to go, though. 27 laps to go, so just about like a C-fix race from this point forward. Everybody just, you know, has to play the cards out right and pull themselves to the end. Got 15 cars on the lead lap now. And that's what it boils down to. It's a long race. Attrition-wise, I mean, you're running 200 miles here, so a lot of those drivers who are DNF'd, either A, were just wrong place, wrong time, or B, were running to the front and just being over-aggressive. And it's not like there's any stages or anything like that in which, you know, you want to run to the front and such, but stuff happens, and, you know, as a result, just because you were running first for 79 laps doesn't mean you're going to be crowned winner on lap 80. Lots of people racing over the heads. One to go. I feel like we're gonna have a similar situation of what we saw last time. Not a lot of cars on the lead lap.
Green
This goes
flag,
in.
green flag.
Green. By terms of first-time winners. Man.
Quite a few of them going for it here.
Yeah, that's right.
25 to go. Hankins and Woody and Miller, they're all Ice Cars / ACOG winners. Bachman, Byrne, Visconti, Thornton, and Kame, they're looking for their first. Schmitz won a couple times. Aaron Brown looking for his first win.
Oh man, Visconti flung at 3.
I mean, it's getting to that point in the race now. There's only 25 laps to go. So, I mean, you can't really wait that much longer to make a move. Just didn't really work out for him right now. As nobody went with him, and now Cole Woody, the odd man out up top.
All right. Now, I think it'll get calmer now, honestly. I have a sense of feeling that it'll finally start to chill out for the moment. But you still have those drivers toward the back who are just laying around for right now. Oh, his Dadgar sort of got scared there from the 8 of Tabor. Let off the throttle just a bit, still attached with his lead draft. So 14 cars in total. Actually, 12 cars, 12 trucks in total. All have a chance to win it here at Daytona. All on this lead draft. 14 in total are on this lead lap.
Yeah, we'll have to see how long they decide to keep running like this and when we might see them go 3x3 again. But now that we're at this point of the race where there's a lot of damaged trucks still up here, are there enough trucks that have little enough damage that they can even go 3x3 while making it work?
I don't think there's too many trucks left to make it 3x3 now. I think they just all have to rely off of, you know, the line going, and the only thing that will make it 3x3 is if the pusher is undamaged. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this will all pan out. And Bachman in this 84 is laying back just a bit. The 84 just lurking in the distance. He's not really pressuring the issue. First time we've seen drivers now lay back, and now we're 30 laps. I mean, 20 laps to go. Now you want to lay back. Should have done that earlier, but you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
if they laid back like that earlier, we'd still have like probably 10 or 12 trucks still on the racetrack that aren't out there right now.
Yeah,
It's like
a bit too late to lay
racing-
back now.
Yeah, the racing we're seeing right now is what I would have expected to see, on lap 13 when that first big one happened. And the racing we saw then is what I would have thought would happen right now. So basically a complete opposite of what I would have expected to happen. But nonetheless, here we are as Woody and Aaron Brown, the only two trucks up top right now, as we hit 21 to go at the line. I have to wonder when more people might decide to join them up there.
I mean, it's 20 to go. You only got 12 drivers up in contention for this checkered flag. So it's not like you're urgent to make track position, to make up as much track position as you can. So it's not like you're jammed back in 26th and they're 3x3. It's everybody's single file, so no sense of urgency right now off of these drivers, and we're coming to 20 laps to go. So I'd say it's go time when it hits, I'd say 5 to go.
Yeah, we'll have to see. $20 to go at the line. So we're 3/4 of the way through the night. Hankins still out front over Miller, Blockman, Woody, and Dubern.
Hockman's all over the place. That 84, he's running. He can't really suck up to the backside of that 19 of Miller. And
It almost looks like the top two are trying to break away from the rest of the field, which is unheard of at restrictor plate races. But just as we thought that was going to happen, Cole will jump down to the bottom and leave Aaron Brown on his own. But despite that, I mean, the 72 and the 19 clearly are the two least damaged trucks in the field, so it's going to be hard for the guys behind them to really mount a charge to get around them. So as long as they stay on the bottom and hug that apron, they're looking pretty good here in terms of taking the checkered flag first and second.
Brown files himself in line right behind Nicholas Dubern, so now everybody's in the file, nose to tail from 1st to 12th, all separated by 1.3 seconds. Now it's a time of, who's going to work with who and how are you going to make that move? You see all these lap trucks, they're running for points, just trying to get as many positions as they can. And with this thing having a potential to go green all the way from the time they drop the green flag from the restart, hopefully they could still gain those positions because they're going laps down in the process. And Bachmann, I think the reason that 84 is not gaining any ground on the 70 or the people in front of him, not only that damage is hindering him, my man's just hitting the apron. He's hitting the apron a bit too much. He's been tagging the apron a bit too much than, what you want to.
Yeah, hitting the apron, of course. I mean, obviously, when even at a full throttle track like this, you still lose a little bit of speed in the corners, but hitting the apron definitely scrubs off more speed than it otherwise would. And you see the 84, he's a lot more squirrely than everybody else in line, so with all that movement there up and down the racetrack, it's harder for him to get up there. Though he sucked up this time, despite all that, the help from Dubern definitely, well, just that, it helped him out.
Yeah, I don't think Dubern wants to make a move. That 269
I think he wants to get around him, though.
Yeah, I think with all that squirreliness, I'd want to get around him too, but once he opens up the door to the bottom, I'd say Dubern would like to take it and pull himself forward, so.
The other issue, though, Dubern also has nose damage, so he might be down a couple RPM, and the trucks behind him are also damaged. So even if he wants to get around the 84, he may not have the help to be able to do it. So he might kind of just be stuck where he is, as the field will go around the slower truck of Bridger Olsen. So even though the field is kind of single file right now, again, I just don't know if there's enough damage-free trucks or just little damaged trucks to really mount any sort of charge to get around those top two. Even if they wait till 5 to go, I just don't know if there's strength in numbers at this point.
They're starting to separate back here. This is Tabor, Dadgar, and Kame all disconnecting now. drivers ahead, so... Coming to 16 laps to go. Tabor's damaged as well, so it's not helping Dadgar's case, nor Kames either. We're still in touch with that lead draft, though, so I think they're going to suck up eventually. Yeah, and everybody's just, you know, they're minding their business right now. I think they're going to be waiting till I'd say 10 laps or maybe 5 laps to go to make the move. So with how many cars we have on the racetrack right now, I'd say you'd make the move with 5 to go, since you want to make the move as late as you can, but of course don't want to make the move on the white, in which you'll basically destroy your chances.
You want to make it with little enough time left where it won't give the people you're making a move on enough time to make another move of their own. But if you wait till the white flag and you get blocked, then you're out of luck at that point. You know, no more opportunities to try again. So doing with about 5 to go might be the best option, because at that point, if you get a move made on you by the people you pass, you also have enough time to potentially defend it. But like I said, the top 2 trucks are by far the cleanest in the field, and even though there's about 10 trucks within a second or two of these leaders, again, with how damaged they are, I think you could put all 10 of those trucks on the top side, keep those 2 on the bottom, and they still won't get by them.
We'll have to see. Roll through the field real quick. It's Kealoha Hankins leading this main draft in that number 72. He's led 15 of the day. He started himself all the way back in 14th, as low as 26, but now running up top. Miller in the number 19, sitting in second. He's been sitting second off the restart. Has led 8 laps so far. Has been as low as, looks like 18th as well, but as high as first. Woody's information's not displaying since he pit started.
Nicholas Dubern, the 269, one of those making his league debut tonight, has led a couple laps, and you see that damage on the front of his truck, but doesn't look like it's affecting him too much, as he started this race in 28th and has worked his way up into P4.
Got David Bachman in the 84. He's sitting in 5th, has led 10 laps. Nice majority for him. That was as low as 29th. He started himself in 9th.
Christian Visconti in the 81. He's also had a couple laps tonight. Another one of the cleaner trucks in the field, but doesn't really have the trucks around him to make a move yet. See if he can mount a late race charge to try to steal that win away from those up front.
William Schmidt in the 79 barely avoided a spinning Tanner Johnston off of that latest caution. He hasn't led a lap so far, but has been as high as 6th. He runs in 7th right now.
Aaron Brown in P8 saw him go around earlier on that latest caution. Despite that damage, running up there inside the top 10. See if we can try to make a late race charge along with the other trucks around him. Time will tell, though.
Zachary Thornton in this number 35. He sits himself currently 9th. Started himself all the way back in 26, as low as 30th. But has yet to lead some laps, and he too has a clean truck. Watch out for him to make a late race charge.
And last car in the top 10, Henry Tabor in the 8, scored his first league win last week in the street stocks at Charlotte. Truck looks pretty beat up right now, but still running inside the top 10. We'll see if he can keep it there over these last 11 plus laps.
Darius Rezdadgar, his information's not showing up because he pit started. Go back to Ryan Kame in the 11. He's currently residing in 12th place as of right now. Has been as low as 29th so far, as looks like we got a lead change up front. Bow for the lead. It looks like
yeah, Hankins and Miller got held up by a slower laps truck, and I think Visconti and Dubern might have tried to pinch them behind, and as a result, for the race lead, the 81 of Visconti has taken it away from the 72. And now you see Miller jumps up there onto the high side, and Hankins still needs to find an opening to get around this 031 of DeAngelis. And now Visconti pulls down in front of the 031, and I don't think that was the right call, as Dubern's going to take the lead away on the top side.
Yeah, and this whole, we've disconnected a few drivers now because they accelerated.
Whoa!
They go side by side. As soon as these drivers go side by side, that acceleration, it kicks up. And they went from around 170-ish to 180-ish, and those drivers toward the back, they couldn't, go in time. And in result, that's dropped out. Looks like Tabor, Dadgar, and Kame all by themselves. So we're left with now 9 drivers in this main pack with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, DeAngelis is now right in the middle of this. I don't know what he's going to have to do. He's 29 laps down, but he has lead lap trucks ahead of him and behind him. So I think the 031 might just kind of tag along in this pack for the rest of the race. But if that's the case, I mean, not a lot of Hankins can do right now right behind him. He's kind of stuck there for right now.
DeAngelis, I mean, he could help people. That's the only thing he could really do, is sort of help and guide. And I cannot believe Tabor is still hanging on with that damaged truck to pull himself up on this lead draft. He also dragged Dadgar.
Oh, jeez!
Yeah,
contact there between Miller and Visconti almost turns them around. Bachman ends up the hill, and those two are going to be side by side for third. But and it looks like Tabor's actually catching.
Bachman!
There's Bachman around on his own. He will spin down to the inside and will lock it down. Unfortunately for him, no caution comes out.
And that was off of DeAngelis as well, the lap car. I'm not sure. Might have been Bachman trying to come down in line.
Might have been, yeah. Tough break regardless again, because no caution was triggered for that. So Bachman's chances of winning have hit pretty much 0 now as we approach 8 to go at the line.
Well, that's unfortunate for Bachman. I mean, he's led so many laps, and for him to get spun out like that and no caution being called has to be so frustrating.
And now Nicholas Dubern in the 269 in his league debut, trying to win in his very first start, and he's got a good chance to here with 7.5 laps to go.
Yeah, he's one of our rookies. At 269, now sits in first. We've only seen one driver so far who's made a very stout statement to go 1 for 1. Carson Poindexter is actually 2 for 2, but in terms of 1 for 1 rookie-wise, the 01 of, I forgot who did it, who nearly did it at Auto Club.
I think that was John Jenkins.
Yeah, John Jenkins nearly did it at Auto Club off of his first ever start. He came up short.
Yeah, he ended up, I think, 2 or 3 laps short on fuel, but he would have been the first one to win in their first start. So Nicholas Dubern trying to do what nobody has done before him here and win in their first league start, but he's got a hungry pack of drivers behind him. And look at the run that Ryan Kame has gotten all by himself up top. He was about 11th a couple laps ago. He's now in 4th place here, coming to 6 laps to go. No help at all, and has gained about 6 or 7 spots. And if somebody jumps up behind him, he might be able to make a run for the lead here.
Yeah, I think same situation. I mean, once they go side by side, they're gonna pull. So I mean, the 11's just a sitting duck for right now. He's gonna slide back in 9, but I'm very surprised
he still
nobody
gained like 6 spots out of that though. He's still in the top 5 right now.
And we're coming out of closing time. I'd say it's give it a lap, and after that, then you'll start to see people pull out a line. But Miller in that 19, I wouldn't say Miller's going to be the catalyst of that. Usually that second car in line is going to be the catalyst of how this line will move. But that second car does play a huge role into things, but it's the third car which determines what kind of moves are going to be made. If that 19 pulls out, that third car in line could easily either sneak up to the inside or go outside with that second car in line. But
look at Dadgar.
Here comes that outside line. It's Dadgar making the move. I'm not sure what DeAngelis is doing.
Yeah, Dadgar did the same thing Kame did and started to make a run up there, and Kame jumped up. Now Visconti jumps up. Now we've got the outside. Tabor's back there. I don't think he has the juice to keep up on the outside, but coming to 5 to go, and now the outside's forming, and here comes the 81 for the race lead.
Oh man, now they got stacked up. Now we're double wide, so it's go time now. Visconti takes it to the bottom. We're gonna clear the high side with Kame all by himself.
And Schmidt's up there now.
Yeah, Schmidt. As I said, it's time to make the move now. So we're gonna definitely see a bunch of shuffling.
I think you might see a wreck too before this is over.
Oh, no doubt about it. And Kame is leaving a lot of bottom for Dadgar right now. Dadgar is being loyal to that outside line. And it's Schmidt going to go to the bottom.
Schmidt barely clears himself in front of DeAngelis. And that's going to hurt the outside line for right now.
And Miller's going to have a chance to pull out right here.
I think him and Dubern might go together, but we'll see.
Man, I cannot believe.
4 to go.
Oh, Dadgar. I mean, Kame got out of line with Dadgar, so that's definitely going to hold up that outside line a bit more.
And Miller's thinking about it.
Oh,
Came down to the bottom. That's going to pretty much kill it now. Only Dadgar and Tabor remain up there.
well, that
But I
has to be
think
frustrating for Dadgar too.
Yeah, Visconti's blinking a little bit. I think Duburn's starting to peek outside with Miller. We'll see when they decide to go, though.
Miller's
They're
looking.
They're peeking. We'll see if they decide to do it, though.
Man, Dadgar's just a sitting duck. He's the catalyst of this outside line. If somebody goes with him, I think he'll pull forward. And I think that might be Cole Woody in the 74
it's
there on
Woody.
the high side. And whoever pulls in front of Dadgar is going to pull this outside line forward. Here comes Kame again.
3 to go.
Oh, and Willie
And
went
there
up
goes
there as well.
Schmidt.
Oh, and
I
Kane's
think-
going to cross him over down to the bottom. Oh, my goodness. You're just killing the
ball-
outside line and doing that.
Yeah, I think Schmidt pulling out bottomed it out. But look at Duburn and Miller. I think they were trying to block the run on the outside rather than pulling out there.
Oh, that destroyed that inside line because of it. Now here comes Schmidt.
There we go.
Yeah, because that block was pulled, that stalled the inside line, and Schmidt's side by side with second. And not only that,
And
Visconti's blinking out too.
Ooh, that's... Yeah, with him blinking, that's really going to throw a wrench into these things because if a situation like this happens, Schmidt can end up getting blocked by a truck he can't see.
Oh yeah. Now we're 2 by 2, 3 rows deep. That outside line needs at least one more truck to maybe help, and that has to be the 72 of Kiloa Hankins or somebody else.
2 to go.
2 to go this time by, and it's Visconti up front. The rookie of Duburn is pushing him. It all comes down to this. 5 miles left.
I think Duburn should have pulled out the last lap when he had the chance to.
Yeah, he should have. That was a shot. He was clear of Schmidt, and he should have pulled out a line to make something happen.
Buddy, this time, though, I think he might have an opening right here to take it. Miller takes it below the yellow line. We're going to go 3 wide for second. And that's going to force Schmidt out of line. And that's going to kill both of the top lines.
Or did
And
it?
now look at... And now Kame going for third. And they have to move up high for the laps truck. That's going to hurt Kame, I think, for a moment. But here we go. White flag at Daytona. That's Bachman that they're going around. Here we go. It all comes down to this.
1 lap to go. Heartbeat at its highest right now. Miller's clear of Visconti. If Miller pulls out now, I think this might be Miller's race. He's backing up though. Duburn has a
there
run.
he goes, I think.
Here comes
There
Miller.
he goes. And Visconti can't block. And they're all starting to shuffle towards the back. We're going to go 3 wide here to 3.
Oh, Dadgar goes around.
There goes Dadgar. And into 3, side by side between Visconti and Miller for the win. And out of turn 4, if Kame gets to the bumper of Visconti, I think the 81 can get there.
We'll have to see all the way to the line. It might be Miller though.
Miller clears, and it's going to be Nick Miller taking the win.
Oh,
Wow, he timed it perfectly, and he got it done.
yeah, and you talk about experience as well. I mean,
Experience pays dividends, and
yep, and Miller's going to come out a winner as well as the points leader.
yeah, Schmidt got second out of all of that as well.
Oh
But,
man.
I mean, Duburn ended up falling all the way down to 10th after that. As we'll have to get a look and see what happened there with that wreck on the last lap. But a job well done there for Nick Miller. Times the move perfectly, and he comes out your race winner.
Oh yeah, he timed that thing as perfect as he can. As soon as he got clear of that number 81 of Visconti, Miller took the move upstairs, and he had a big push there from
I think it was Duburn.
Duburn. And they
Yeah, he
stacked
was-
up.
Yeah, and then this is where they go 3 wide. Dadgar was the first truck I saw around, and
Yeah, I
think
got
it might have been
netcoded by the
netcode there.
72 of Hankins.
yeah, and you see Woody full throttling it. They're trying to keep it going, and he actually did. That was impressive.
And
for
I'm
the
very-
74.
I'm very surprised Schmidt didn't pull out right there. He had the room, but I mean, all you could do is just push since Schmidt's not really paying attention to left or right sides. All he has to do is, he's gunning for that start-finish line, and I'd rather finish second than risk myself.
Going back to
top
4th,
5.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, what a top 10 we have, though. I mean, Nick Miller, your winner. Schmidt second. I mean, Christian Visconti, Ryan Kame, and Henry Tabor, the rest of the top 5. Great finishes for all 3 of those guys. Zachary Thornton, Kilo Hankins, Cole Woody, Nicholas Dubern, and Darius Reza Dadgar. A lot of guys up here you don't usually see up in that top 10. Great job for everybody up here to keep their trucks clean all night and get the job done.
Got Brown, Bachman, Olson, Drake, Harrison riding out the top 15. Got Leto off of his first start. He's going to run himself out 16th. Michael Gregory, 17th. Johnston, Hobbs, and DeAngelis, top 20.
Max Eric, Jackson Menchie, Lewis Galvin, Spencer Burns, Jake Sylvia, Benjamin White, your pole sitter in 26th. Bryson Collins, Henry Clapper, Sartaj Mon, and Eric Heater round out your top 30.
Got Frimpong, Peters, Reynolds, Brennan, Munoz, and Dawson rounding out the rest of the order. So 36 drivers taking a checkered flag here this evening. And I'm very curious to see on these people's fuel as well, since we were close all the way to the end. Because I know some of these drivers, they might have ran out coming to the line. I mean, DeAngelis
I think
is out
Miller
of fuel.
might have.
Yeah, Miller might have. Very curious to see on how that all went, but man, what a finish.
Yeah, great one. Second night in a row, we've had a really great finish at the line.
Yep, and we'll be right back right after these messages. We'll be back here live, post-race for Daytona Racing. Nick Miller picks up his first win of the season. And we're back here live for the ACOG iRacing Series post-race coverage presented to you here by MaxSpeed TV. Man, what a finish! What a race! And what a day here at Daytona on the virtual side of things, of course not in real life. We'll go ahead and just skirt ourselves into tonight's post-race coverage for the ACOG opener of the Super Speedway season. Man, that was, compared to last season, well, we had more than double of what finished on the lead lap last time, so definitely a plus.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of bigger ones, but a much cleaner race overall compared to that race as well. So good to see an improved race, and I mean, even compared to last night, this is a much better race. But overall, another close finish between the top two drivers, and we'll interview the winner of that battle here, Nick Miller. We'll drag him in and see what he's got to say about his win here tonight.
And to the booth goes Nick Miller in that number 19. Miller, my goodness, man. That's a veteran move and a veteran win here tonight to pick up your first win of the season for the 8COG Super Speedway Series Season 2. I'm running out of breath. Oh, congratulations, man. That number 19 is a victory lane.
Yeah. Well, didn't really get the victory lane. We helped in the tow truck. Ran out of fuel there, pushing Frank. Yeah, shout out Cole, Co. He stayed out in front for as long as he could. That helped me save enough fuel to get to the end, and then I just kind of shot my way back in line to save more fuel once Co went farther back to save harder. Yeah, very interesting race. We really struggled to get going there until about halfway. Then the guys that were chill, we all settled down and got there to the end finally.
Yeah, but that's all right. I mean, as you said, you were close there on fuel. Of course, had to lay it back. And how much did you have left coming to the line? And when was the time you wanted to push the issue?
I think I had coming to the line. Right, coming to the line for the wide or the checkered?
Both. I mean,
let me think. Oh, probably. I know at the checkered I had like about 0.2, so I'd probably say like 0.7, 0.8 was left for the white. And I didn't go until that move down the back that I made. So I was gonna save like as long as I could, at least up to the white. And let me give a quick shout out. I'm the only 0x driver, so everyone that says that I'm a hack, I proved you wrong.
Well, but congratulations, 0x, as well as leading laps. Now, no to that, the victory here tonight at Daytona. Congratulations, man. But before we let you go, any sponsor you want to thank you for tonight?
Yeah, of course the team working hard here for the Contender Series. So we're not calling it the Pro Series anymore, but the Contender Series for Auto Club, great track that iRacing has created now with their grip strips and whatnot. Should be fun. We feel very fast for the race on Tuesday, and hope our boy Daniel Eberhardt gets a good finish.
All right, about time for Nick Miller rounds some stuff out in top of the board. Go ahead and see you coming next race, man.
Yep, thank you.
Let's get ourselves back one spot to the 79 of William Schmidt.
Hey, William, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, on that last lap, we saw you get behind Nick Miller out of turn 4. You definitely had the room to make him move up top. Did you choose not to, thinking it wouldn't work, or just want to stay committed and push the 19 to the win?
I knew I had too much aero damage and that I wasn't going to get a run at all, so I figured, no, I might as well just push the guy who's going to eventually end up winning so I can at least leave some sort of mark on the race. So, boom. That's really all.
And being bold strategy got you P2 instead of maybe P4 or P5, so worked out for you for sure. And we just asked Nick about the fuel. Did you pit with around 39 to go, or did you decide to stay up like they did and have to save a little bit?
I topped off whenever the last caution was, so I had a lot more breathing room than a lot of the other guys, because I think I had maybe an extra lap of fuel. So, yeah, that's why I was trying to push it as hard as I was in those final few laps, because I knew I had enough.
I might have gotten them if there was another lap or two with how close they were on fuel. But a great run for you nonetheless here at Daytona. And before we let you go tonight, any sponsors you want to thank here?
I do not.
All right, William Schmidt, P2 here tonight at Daytona. Somebody please sponsor this man. Hope to see you back here for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
And we'll drag in our third place runner here looks like he's not here. Fourth
Yeah,
place.
Visconti.
Yeah, so I guess we'll drag in fifth place of Henry Tabor into the booth goes Henry Tabor. Tabor, you run yourself out fifth here tonight. Congratulations. First thoughts?
That was a crazy race, honestly. That That was a really stressful race from start to finish. It really, I mean, it feels good to get a good result like that, P5. That's a great way to start the season. But man, that was one crazy race, avoiding all the wrecks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, regardless of avoiding the wrecks and stuff like that, but during that final run, that final big run to the end, of course, close on fuel. Not only that, you were running toward the tail end of the pack, and you were working around with Ryan Kim and Dadgar there to pull yourself forward, and you ended up 5th here for the evening. So, I mean, for the night. So, just run me through on how that final run went for you.
As we got down to it, I got into a voice call with Dario, and we started formulating about fuel because we all knew that it was going to be very close. So it was about saving fuel, going 3/4 throttle, and eventually we were just like, with 5 to go, we're just going to go for it, because at some point we were just going slow enough that by yourself you could just go up there and probably pass everybody. So in the end, I really didn't think I was going to finish inside the top 10. I made a move late to go up there, but with the last lap wreck and just a bunch of people just being running out of fuel and going slow right at the line, I picked up a bunch of spots, and pretty happy with that. I really did not think that I was going to get up there.
Yep, and you ran yourself out 5th. You were as low as 33rd. Actually, started yourself in 33rd and highest up in 5th, so you gained a total 28 spots here tonight. Congratulations, man. But before I let you go, any sponsor want to thank you for tonight?
Always Tabor Accounting Group, Melee Design Firm, ProDrive Racing out in Portland. You guys for putting these races on. They can be chaotic, but at the end of the day, we just all get some cheap laughs out of them. We go to the next weekend, so thank you.
All right, about 10 for Henry Tabor, and that number 8 rounds himself out in 5th. Go ahead and see you come to the next one.
Thank you.
And that'll be it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Another great night of racing here for tonight to wrap up the weekend. Congrats once again to Nick Miller on saving enough fuel to take the checkered flag first here for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and the next time we'll be on air will be Friday night at 9:30 for the NASCAR Series Mulligan race at Charlotte, as we'll rerun that after the events of last week. So be sure to tune in for that. And for Zeke Reyes, I am Dewey Schramm. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on Friday.